The beautiful underground. When everything was perfect and nothing was safe. The transformation. Various locations, Shoreditch, summer 2006. By the summer of 2006, I'd been in Shoreditch for 18 months and everything had changed. The music I was producing had evolved beyond anything I'd created before. Working within the scene, with its lack of commercial pressure, its focus on innovation, its community of genuinely brilliant artists, had pushed me to a level I didn't know I was capable of reaching. I'd produced 3 full albums that existed only in the underground, no official release, no streaming services, just hand-copied CDs and encrypted file transfers distributed through networks that existed entirely outside the commercial music industry. But those albums were extraordinary. They represented the cutting edge of electronic music, sophisticated, emotionally resonant, technically innovative without being technically self-conscious. Music journalists who were connected to the underground had started noticing. My name was appearing in articles about the emerging London electronic scene. Producers from major labels had reached out, asking if I'd be interested in commercial work. I declined every offer. Because commercial work would mean leaving the underground. And despite everything, despite the criminal infrastructure, despite the danger, despite the moral complexity, I wasn't ready to leave. The scene itself had reached a kind of golden period. The venues were thriving. The artists were creating their best work. The community felt electric with possibility. Block Festival had become an annual pilgrimage. Fabric was hosting underground artists regularly. The line between underground and mainstream was blurring in ways that felt exciting rather than compromising. But underneath that golden surface, Alice and I were documenting everything. James's flat, early morning, August 2006. I was living 2 completely separate lives, and the strain was becoming harder to manage. Life 1, James Chen, respected music producer within the Shoreditch Underground. I worked on tracks with the best artists in the scene. I attended performances. I socialized with musicians and visual artists and filmmakers. I was paid increasingly large amounts of money for production work. I was becoming successful in the only way that mattered to me, creating music that pushed boundaries. Life 2, James Chen, investigator, working with Alice to document a criminal network operating through the London underground music scene. We met in secret locations. We reviewed photographs and financial records. We traced connections between venues and funding sources. We built a comprehensive picture of how money moved through the system. The 2 lives required completely different mindsets. In Life 1, I had to be present, creative, open. In Life 2, I had to be careful, analytical, paranoid. The psychological toll was significant. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., my mind racing, unable to shut off the constant calculation of risk and consequence. I'd work on a track during the day, completely absorbed in the creative process, and then meet Alice in the evening to review evidence that implicated the very people I'd been working with. The contradiction was becoming unbearable. Dalston evening, September 2006. Alice had moved to a new apartment in Dalston, larger than her previous place, with space for her photography equipment and our accumulated documentation. One evening, I arrived to find her apartment transformed into an investigation headquarters. One entire wall was covered with photographs, documents, and handwritten notes. Red string connected different elements, the kind of thing you'd see in a detective film, except this was real. I've been mapping the entire network, Alice explained. She walked me through her documentation. At the center, Victor Kozlov. Connected to him, 6 other individuals, all with ties to organized crime organizations in Russia and Eastern Europe. Connected to them, a network of venues, art spaces, and underground locations throughout London. Connected to those, artists, musicians, producers, including me. The money enters through legitimate-seeming businesses, Alice explained. Restaurants, property companies, investment firms. Then it moves through the underground scene, venues that operate in legal gray areas, cash-intensive businesses, transactions that don't create paper trails. The art and music are real, but they're also cover. Perfect cover, because everyone's so focused on the creativity that nobody asks about the funding. She showed me financial documents she'd obtained. I didn't ask how. They detailed money flows that totaled millions of pounds annually. The scale was breathtaking. The journalist I'm working with, her name is Rebecca, she's ready to publish, Alice said. But she needs more. She needs direct evidence linking Kozlov to specific venues. She needs proof that the money is being laundered, not just circumstantial evidence. And she needs sources willing to go on record. Who would be willing to do that? I asked. Anyone who speaks publicly becomes a target. Sophie was willing, Alice said quietly, before she disappeared. And there are others, artists who've left the scene and are willing to talk. Venue workers who've witnessed things. We just need to connect them with Rebecca and build an airtight case. I looked at the wall of evidence, at the photographs of people I knew, at the financial documents proving what we'd suspected, at the comprehensive picture of a criminal network operating in plain sight. How much danger are we in? I asked. Alice turned to face me. Significant danger. If Kozlov realizes what we're documenting, if Marcus or Danny or anyone else within the scene figures out what we're doing, we become problems that need to be eliminated, just like Sophie. She moved closer. But James, we're so close. We have most of what Rebecca needs. A few more months of documentation, a few more sources willing to talk, and we can expose this. We can actually change something. I kissed her, not just because I wanted to, though I did, but because in that moment, standing in her apartment, surrounded by evidence of our impossible investigation, I understood how much I cared about her, how much her determination and courage meant to me, how much we'd built together. When we pulled apart, she smiled. We should probably discuss the fact that you're also involved with Claire, she said. I froze. How did you? I'm a photographer and investigator, Alice said. I notice things. I've seen the way you look at each other. I've seen you leave venues together. It's okay, James. We've never had the exclusivity conversation. And given our circumstances, given that we might disappear at any moment, I'm not sure traditional relationship rules apply. It's complicated, I said. Everything about our lives is complicated, Alice replied. What matters is that we're honest with each other, about the investigation, about the risks, about our feelings. Can you do that? Yes, I said. Then that's enough. Recording studio, Hackney Wick, night October 2006. My relationship with Claire had deepened in ways that were different from my relationship with Alice. With Alice, everything was intense, focused, purposeful. We were partners in investigation, collaborators in exposing corruption. Our connection was built on shared mission and shared risk. With Claire, everything was artistic, emotional, transcendent. We were partners in creation, collaborators in pushing the boundaries of what music could be. Our connection was built on shared passion for sound and beauty. One night in October, we were recording in a Hackney Wick studio, just the two of us. I was producing, she was singing, and we were creating something that felt genuinely groundbreaking. The track we were working on blended electronic soundscapes with her voice in ways that created emotional resonance without obvious melody. It was experimental and accessible simultaneously. It was the kind of music that could only be created by people who'd spent years in the underground, understanding their craft at the deepest level. Around 2 a.m., during a break, Claire sat beside me at the mixing desk. I know about Alice, she said. I looked at her, surprised. I know you're investigating the scene with her. I know you're trying to expose the funding infrastructure. I know you're documenting Kozlov and Marcus and all of it. How? Because I pay attention, Claire said. Because I've been in this scene long enough to recognize the signs. And because Marcus asked me about you, about whether you seemed different, about whether you were asking unusual questions. My pulse quickened. What did you tell him? I told him you were the same as always. Talented, creative, focused on the music. I protected you. She paused. But James, you need to understand something. Marcus is suspicious. Kozlov is suspicious. They're watching you. And if they find proof that you're investigating them, they won't hesitate. Why are you protecting me? I asked. Claire was quiet for a moment, choosing her words carefully. Because I love you, she said simply. Not in some abstract way, actually love you. The way you create, the way you think, the way you refuse to compromise, even when compromise would be easier. I love that about you, even though it terrifies me, even though I know it's going to get you hurt or worse. She stood up, preparing to continue the session. But I also need you to know I'm not going to help you investigate. I'm not going to testify or provide evidence or do anything that puts me at risk. I made my peace with this system a long time ago. I chose survival and creation over morality, and I'm not going to apologize for that choice. I'm not asking you to, I said. Good, but I am asking you to be careful, because losing you, whether to the investigation or to Kozlov or to your own idealism, would destroy me, and I'm not ready to be destroyed. We finished the track that night. It was some of the best work either of us had ever created. And it was also one of the last pure creative moments before everything started falling apart. Cafe in King's Cross, afternoon, November 2006. Rebecca Chen, no relation to me, despite the shared surname, was an investigative journalist who'd been covering Russian money in London for nearly a decade. She was in her 40s, with sharp eyes and the careful manner of someone who'd spent years investigating dangerous people. Alice had arranged for us to meet at a cafe in King's Cross, a location removed from Shoreditch and the places we were investigating. Alice has shown me your documentation, Rebecca said after we'd ordered coffee. It's comprehensive, but it's also circumstantial. To publish, I need more. I need direct evidence of money laundering. I need sources willing to go on record. I need proof that connects the venues directly to Kozlov's criminal organization. What would constitute direct evidence? I asked. Financial records showing money moving from Kozlov's businesses into the venues. Testimony from people who've witnessed money laundering firsthand. Documentation of the mechanisms, exactly how cash enters the system and emerges clean. Bank records, if possible, though those are extremely difficult to obtain. She pulled out a small notebook. I also need to understand the full scope. How many venues are involved? How much money is moving through the system annually? Who else besides Kozlov is part of the network? Alice and I spent 2 hours walking Rebecca through everything we documented. She took detailed notes, asked precise questions, and periodically warned us about the risks we were taking. If this story publishes, Rebecca said at the end of our meeting, you'll both be in significant danger. Kozlov and his associates don't respond well to exposure. People who've investigated them before have experienced serious consequences. We understand the risks, I said. I'm not sure you do, Rebecca replied. I've covered organized crime for years. These aren't people who make threats. They're people who take action. If you continue this investigation, if you help me gather the evidence I need to have an exit plan, a way to leave London quickly. quickly if necessary. Somewhere you can go where Kozlov's network can't easily reach you. We'll figure something out, Alice said. Rebecca looked at both of us for a long moment. You're very brave, she said. Or very naive. Possibly both. But if you're committed to this, I'll do everything I can to tell the story properly, to make Sophie's investigation mean something, to expose what's happening. As we left the cafe, I felt the weight of what we were attempting. This wasn't just documenting corruption anymore. This was preparing to publish information that would threaten powerful people, information that could get us killed. The spring of 2007 was, artistically, the best period of my life. I was producing music at a level I'd never reached before. The tracks I created were being noticed by people who mattered in the underground. My reputation was growing. Offers for commercial work were increasing, though I continued to decline them. The scene itself was thriving. New venues were opening. New artists were emerging. The creative energy felt limitless. Shoreditch was gentrifying rapidly, but the underground scene was adapting, moving to Hackney and Dalston, finding new spaces, maintaining its authenticity despite commercial pressures. I produced an album with Claire that existed only as a limited run of 500 hand-numbered CDs. Within the underground, it became legendary, something people traded, something that represented what electronic music could be at its most experimental and most emotionally resonant. I collaborated with Marcus Webb on a project that blended ambient soundscapes with field recordings from around London. It was meditative and complex, the kind of music that rewarded deep listening. I worked with Danny on a series of tracks that pushed turntablism into new territory, using vinyl manipulation in ways that had never been done before. The music was extraordinary. The community was vibrant. Everything was perfect. Except it wasn't. Because underneath that golden surface, the investigation was accelerating. Alice and I were documenting more evidence. Rebecca was preparing her article, and Kozlov and Marcus were becoming increasingly suspicious. I realized Danny had figured out what I was doing during a session at the stable. We were working on a track, just the two of us in the studio late at night. The music was flowing well. We were in that collaborative space where creativity happens effortlessly. Then, during a break, Danny said something that changed everything. I know you're investigating Kozlov, he said, not looking at me, still focused on his turntables. I know you and Alice are documenting the money laundering. I know you're working with a journalist. I felt my heart stop. Danny! Don't lie, he said, finally looking at me. I've known for months. I've been watching you, trying to figure out if you were actually going to follow through, or if you'd realize how dangerous it was and stop. Are you going to tell them? I asked. Danny was quiet for a long moment. He lit a cigarette, considering his response carefully. I don't want to, he said finally. You're talented. You're a good person, and I respect what you're trying to do, genuinely respect it. But James, you need to understand something. If Marcus or Kozlov finds out, they'll come to me. They'll ask me if I knew, and if I lie to protect you, if I claim I didn't know, they'll kill me too. Not might kill me, will kill me. So what are you saying? I'm saying you need to finish your investigation quickly, within weeks, not months. Because I can't keep this secret indefinitely. Eventually, someone else is going to figure it out. And when they do, I'm going to have to protect myself. Which means I'll have to tell them what I know. He stubbed out his cigarette. I'll give you 1 month. 1 month to gather whatever evidence you need and get out. After that, I can't protect you anymore. Various locations, July-August 2007. The investigation went into overdrive. Alice and I met Rebecca twice a week, providing her with new documentation. She was building a comprehensive article that detailed the entire network, how money entered through Kozlov's businesses, moved through the venues, and emerged clean. How the underground music scene was being used as elaborate cover for international money laundering. We gathered testimony from artists who'd left the scene and were willing to speak anonymously. We documented specific transactions. We traced money flows through bank records that Alice obtained through methods I didn't ask about. The article Rebecca was preparing was devastating. It named names. It showed exactly how the system worked. It connected the beautiful, creative underground scene to a criminal network that was moving tens of millions of pounds annually. But gathering this evidence was becoming increasingly dangerous. I noticed I was being followed, not obviously, but there were people I didn't recognize appearing in places I frequented. People who seemed to be watching me, taking note of where I went and who I met with. Alice noticed it too. She changed apartments twice in 1 month, trying to stay ahead of surveillance. Claire warned me repeatedly, "You're running out of time. Marcus knows something's happening. Kozlov knows something's happening. You need to finish this or get out." Hackney Wick Warehouse, late night, August 2007. The final piece of evidence came from an unexpected source. Tommy, the young musician I'd seen sleeping on Marcus's cot 2 years earlier, struggling with addiction, reached out to me through a mutual connection. He wanted to talk. We met in an abandoned warehouse in Hackney Wick, a location far from anywhere Kozlov or Marcus would expect. Tommy looked worse than when I'd last seen him. Thinner, more damaged, the track marks on his arms more pronounced. "I know what you're trying to do," he said. "I know you're investigating the money, and I want to help." "Why?" I asked. "Because they destroyed me," Tommy said simply. "The same people funding the music, the same infrastructure that allows all this creativity to exist, they're also the reason I'm like this. They got me addicted. They used me. And when I tried to leave, when I tried to get clean, they pulled me back in. I can't escape. But maybe I can help you expose them." He pulled out a folder. Inside were financial documents, actual bank records showing money moving from Kozlov's businesses into venue accounts. Detailed records that proved definitively that money was being laundered through the underground music scene. "How did you get these?" I asked. "I worked for Marcus for 2 years, Tommy said. Part of my job was moving money, handling transactions, managing accounts. I kept copies of everything. Insurance, I guess, in case I ever needed leverage." He handed me the folder. "Give these to your journalist. Publish the story. Expose what's happening. And maybe it'll mean something. Maybe Sophie's death will mean something. Maybe my life getting destroyed will mean something." I took the folder. "Tommy, if we publish this, you'll be in danger. They'll know these documents came from you." "I'm already dead," Tommy said. "I've been dead since the moment I got involved with this scene. At least this way, my death might matter." Alice's apartment, late night, August 2007. I brought the documents to Alice. She reviewed them with Rebecca over a video call, and the journalist's reaction was immediate. "This is it. This is what we need. With these documents, we can publish." Rebecca's article was ready. All she needed was final approval from her editor and the legal team. Publication would happen within weeks. But sitting in Alice's apartment that night, surrounded by 2 years of investigation, I understood what publication would mean. We would expose the network. We would reveal how the underground music scene was being used for money laundering. We would connect Kozlov to specific venues and specific crimes. We would tell Sophie's story. We would potentially destroy the infrastructure that funded the scene. But we would also destroy ourselves. Kozlov wouldn't allow the story to publish without consequences. Marcus and the others would know we were the sources. We'd have to leave London, leave everything we'd built, everyone we knew, the music we'd been creating. And the scene itself would collapse. The venues would close. The artists would lose their spaces. The creative community would fracture. All the extraordinary music, all the genuine beauty that existed within this corrupted system, it would disappear. We could stop, I said to Alice, right now. We could give Rebecca the documents and let her publish without our direct involvement. We could try to distance ourselves. They'll know it was us, Alice said. There's no way to publish this story without Kozlov figuring out who the sources were. We're committed now, have been since we started. She was right. There was no going back. So what do we do? I asked. Alice looked at me, at the wall of evidence, at the documents Tommy had given us, at 2 years of investigation culminating in this moment. We publish, she said. We expose the system. We tell Sophie's story. We make her death mean something. And then we run. We leave London. We start over somewhere else. And we hope we survive. I thought about Claire, about the music we'd created together, about the albums that existed only in the underground, about the community I'd become part of, about the best creative period of my life. And I thought about Sophie, about Tommy, about all the people damaged by this system, about the contradiction of creating beauty on foundations of corruption. Okay, I said, we publish. Brick Lane Gallery Loft Night, September 2007. 1 week before Rebecca's article was scheduled to publish, there was an event at the Brick Lane Gallery Loft. It was one of those Thursday night gatherings, multiple art forms colliding, live painting and live music and video projections all happening simultaneously. The kind of night that embodied everything the scene was supposed to be. Claire was performing. Danny was mixing. Marcus Webb was there, watching from the shadows. Many of the artists I'd worked with over the past 2 years were present. The creative energy was extraordinary. I stood near the back, watching it all, trying to memorize every detail. This was the last time I'd experienced this community, the last time I'd be part of something this special. Within a week, the article would publish and everything would change forever. Claire finished her set and found me in the crowd. "You're leaving," she said. Not a question, a statement. "How did you know?" "Because I know you, and I know that look. You've made a decision that's going to take you away from here." We found a quiet corner, away from the music and the art and the crowd. "The article publishes next week," I said. "Rebecca's story about the money laundering, about Kozlov, about everything. And when it does, I have to leave London immediately. Alice and I have already arranged it." Claire nodded slowly. "And you're still going through with it, even knowing what it costs?" "Yes." "Even though it means leaving the music, the scene, me?" "Yes." She kissed me, deeply, one final time. "I hope it's worth it," she said. "I hope exposing the corruption is worth losing everything you've built here. Because once you're gone, once the article publishes, you can never come back. Kozlov won't forgive this. Marcus won't forgive this. The scene itself might not survive." "I know," I said. "And you're still choosing this?" "I'm still choosing this." Claire pulled back. There were tears in her eyes. "Then I hope you survive. I hope wherever you go, whatever you do next, I hope you create music again. Because you're too talented to stop, and the world needs what you can create." She kissed me once more, then disappeared into the crowd. I watched the event continue for another hour, memorizing the sight of artists creating in spaces that would soon no longer exist. Then I left the loft for the last time, walking through Shoreditch's streets in the early morning darkness, saying goodbye to a life I'd never get back. Rebecca's article published on a Thursday morning in The Guardian. The headline read, "The Beautiful Underground: How Russian Criminal Networks Are Laundering Money Through London's Art Scene." The article was comprehensive and devastating. It detailed exactly how the system worked. It named Victor Kozlov and his associates. It explained how venues operated as money laundering fronts. It revealed the scale, tens of millions of pounds moving through the underground music and art scenes annually. It told Sophie's story. It included testimony from artists who'd left the scene. It presented the financial documents Tommy had provided. It connected the beauty of the art to the corruption funding it. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Within hours, the story had been picked up by international media. The Financial Times, the New York Times, BBC, everyone was covering it. The London underground music scene, something that had existed in shadows and whispers, was suddenly international news. The Metropolitan Police announced they were opening an investigation into the venues named in the article. The National Crime Agency began looking into Kozlov's financial activities. The venues were raided. Accounts were frozen. The infrastructure collapsed within days. St. Pancras Station, morning, September 2007. Alice and I had planned our escape carefully. We'd packed only essential items: clothes, laptops, hard drives containing documentation, Alice's cameras. Everything else stayed behind. We'd arranged fake identities through contacts Alice had in investigative journalism. We'd purchased train tickets to Paris, then connections to Berlin. From there, we'd disappear into continental Europe for as long as necessary. At St. Pancras Station, waiting for our train, I received a final message from Danny. "They know. Kozlov knows it was you. Marcus knows. You need to disappear completely. Don't contact anyone from the scene, ever. They're looking for you, both of you." Another message arrived from Claire. "I understand why you did it. I don't forgive you for leaving, but I understand. Be safe. Create music again someday. Don't let this be the end of your story." And a final message from an unknown number. "You should have listened to the first warning. You should never have come to Shoreditch." The same number that had texted me the day I arrived in London, 2.5 years earlier. Our train was called. Alice and I boarded, finding our seats in a crowded carriage. As the train pulled out of the station, I watched London disappear behind us. The city where I'd created the best music of my life, where I'd fallen in love twice, where I'd been part of something extraordinary and terrible simultaneously. The golden period was over, and I was alive. For now,